Hello, everybody. How are all my crafty friends? Oops. There, that's better. So much easier to talk to you when I'm right here on screen. Anyway, so you're doing well, I hope. I hope your weather is decent, not so hot you're scorching, or so wet that you're drowning. It's crazy. We've had the most interesting weather this week. It has been absolutely perfect. We had 2 days, a day and a half of rain. It started on Tuesday afternoon and lasted until Wednesday afternoon. Then there was a few more sprinkles, but it really wasn't much after that. But it was wonderful. All of the gardens got wet. It's a very good thing. My plants are much happier than they were because I am not the best person to go out and water. Hi Gladys, good to see you. I did my, okay, here's my accountability. I told you were all my accountability partners. I did go out and I gardened 5 days this week. I worked in the yard. It took me 3 to get the first bed done, and then I spent 2 more days working on my wisteria. So I'm going to show you those pictures. So this one is the end of day 1. I know it may not, I didn't do a before picture. A before picture would have been amazing, but those vines were down into the flower bed beneath them. Hey Lori, I'm glad you're here. This is at the end of day 2. Look at that. Oh, funny story. At the end of day 1, somewhere in the middle of the day before I was finished, my watch told me that I had had a hard fall and was ready to call EMS for me. I caught it in time. I turned that off. I did not fall. I did not. I pulled pretty hard because those vines go up and they curl around the vines that are on top. So I've got a couple little spots that I didn't pull hard enough. I can see a couple dead branches up there, but we're good. So anyway, here's day 2. Still to go. The right corner. This is where the trunk is. Oh, you're getting hot and humidity is increasing. I don't like humidity unless it's actually raining. And then I can stay inside because I don't like getting wet. I'm such a big baby. Anyway, that's still to go. I'm going to do if you go back to day 1, you'll notice in the lower right, there's a little bit of a garden. I've got a garden across the fence line that's raised, and then there's another garden bed next to it that needs to be cleaned up. So I'm going to do those and a couple of walkways, and then I'm going to get around to the side and get back to work where I need to be. Okay, I'm back. But I wanted to show you that I have been working. Hillary and a couple have kind of checked in with me to see how I'm doing with my plan of half an hour a day. I actually did way more time than that. And I'm feeling very proud of what I got done. I can see the road again. Hi, Luann, good to see you. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about? Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. I want you to tell me if you think I have gone totally crazy and out of my mind. I have a workshop coming up with my crafting buddies, and it'll be at my house. And I was thinking it would be fun to do a one-sheet wonder. So my thought is I would give them a piece of DSP, a couple of card bases to match the DSP they chose, and we would all cut the DSP together. And then they could choose how they wanted to make their card. So am I nuts? Have I lost it? Possibly. There are, let's see, one person who's coming is probably, I'd say, 3/4 blind. She's blind in one eye, had a stroke in her other eye, and she only has partial vision in that. I think at the bottom, from the middle to the bottom. And then another friend is losing her memory. She was quite the crafter in her day. And the third one takes a lot of work. I love her dearly, but she takes a little bit more explaining and helping. So Lori always helps me, so she's coming over on Monday and we're going to discuss what we're going to do, but I just really think it would be so much fun to do a one-sheet wonder because I like one-sheet wonders. I like them a lot. But I think it might be too much, and I think I might have gone crazy. So feel free to tell me that I have lost my mind. Or to go for it, it should at least be interesting. Oh my goodness. So today, I am drinking coffee out of a mug I don't normally use, but it's kind of pretty. Kind of looks like petal pink to me. Not my favorite. Oh, look who's here. Susie Cute is here. And now she's not happy because now she can't knock anything off. Go find something to play with. She was in the middle of all the craft supplies. She loves blender pens. They roll. She can get them on the floor. She can have them fun. She can bat them under things. They're really, really lots of fun. Bet you didn't know that about them. Anyway, I also have, because when the coffee's gone, I have my mug full of the very last of that lemon lime punch from Snarky Tea, which I absolutely love. Okay, enough about me. What are you guys drinking? What you been up to? Any mischief? I love to hear about mischief, you know. I did ruin her fun. That's because I'm mean and cruel. Let's see. Before I get down to the table, I wanted to remind you about the In Color product sale. I am so thrilled with this. I've ordered a few things. I've ordered the refills for all the ink refills for all of them, and I've ordered some designer series paper that's got the colors in it, and a couple more embellishments. I don't think I ordered any more ribbon. Perhaps I should have. I had to put in 2 orders this month for my pre-order because I might have forgotten to order catalogs again. I gotta tell you, I've done that before. And it's never good to not have extra catalogs. Especially, have you noticed that with a new way of ordering catalogs, a new process and program? Oh, you left your water downstairs. That's not good. Oh, Luann, if I can give intense help to 3 people at the same time? Well, Lori's there to help, and she works with the one who is a little bit more intense with help. And everybody else helps out. If I have 2 of them sitting together, I could probably sit between them. And the one who's losing her memory, her daughter will be there. So that will help. Ooh, cola and ice water. Then ice water. I never buy cola, but every once in a while I like a good Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi. I usually get that when I go out. Anyway, the sale is great. The pre-sale is wonderful. Sometime this week I'm going to pop on and do an unboxing when my 2 boxes come, because they'll be probably on the same day. Because I submitted my order, and the very next morning, it was midnight, so technically it was the same day that I ordered. Okay, back over here. So it was the same day I ordered, just a few hours apart, but I did call demonstrator support, and they said that I couldn't just add catalogs onto my first order, so I had to order another time. I like that our catalog is included in the pre-order, but I do forget to order the separate ones. So from last week, I actually got it together this week. I'm ahead on some things and way behind on others. So Gladys is getting the card kit from last week. Kat is getting the card kit from last week. Hillary's going to get the card from last week. She's not going to be able to join us today. She is walking with a friend who came to visit. Her friend has dogs, so they're taking the dogs for a walk. And then Cindy Walker. And I believe Cindy Walker won't join us today either because she's having her convention this weekend. Started today. So I'll get those in the mail today or tomorrow. I might not go out today because I still have to go out in the yard and do some gardening. sorry, let's rephrase that. I get to go outside in this lovely weather that's not too hot and do a little gardening. There, that sounded way better. Oh, Luann, go for it. Okay. You're right, it'll be fun and interesting. Yes, that's true. They were. I just missed it. Bad Nancy. Okay, so here's what I've got. I have learned something new also. Hi, Cindy, good to see you. I am doing well. I'm having fun. I've just been playing. I don't have any cards done, but oh, you're welcome for the card kit, Gladys. I learned today, I watched my friend Debbie Downford. She's Creative Creations. Oh my goodness, I knew I was going to forget that. On YouTube anyway, I watched her. And she said, when she was doing hers, that she took a 6 by 8.5 inch piece of paper that it fills up, basically fills up, more than fills up, the whole sunflower, and then she got 2 cards out of it. So that's what I'm going to do today, is use this one. We're going to do one. Remember, it's a 3D embossing folder, so the sandwich is plate 1 and plate 4, and our folder and paper sandwiched in between. I will go cut that off soon. Here is one that I did earlier. Let's see. Kind of hard to see because of embossing on white. However, you can see the embossing on the two-tone cardstock. And I did that, and I did this morning. And I took, oh, Cindy, you're welcome for your card kit. I wasn't sure this would be a good surface. It seems like it's been used for many years, but it did. It worked really well on the cardstock. And you just go over it like this, and the white shows through. And that's going to be a fun card. Not for today, but I just wanted to try it. Oh, I'm so glad, Gladys. I've got in my head, and I don't know why I didn't write it down on paper, because you know I don't remember things, that I need to, I have a friend, a new customer, who broke her finger on her right hand, her dominant hand. Who else? See? I should write these things down. Yeah. Right now, that's all that's on my mind, but I'm going to come, the others will come back to me, but I have some I need to send out. So, here is what I did. I cut my paper, because I didn't think about doing 2 at once, so I cut my paper into quarters. So they're all going to need to be trimmed, and we're going to play with some of those. I did go and I looked through my cards. This one, I didn't ink up the embossing folder. I used my inks and my sponge daubers, which has a little different look. I mean, it's not clean and neat. And I guess that's fine. I haven't cut it down yet either. But I've got pecan pie for the mat. This needs to be cut down to 3 3/4 by 5. And then for the inside, I've got a mat and a piece of basic white that I'll put some of what I cut down on the bottom of. So there's one idea. Some people might be a little better with their sponge daubers than I am, but I found it just a little messy. Colors didn't stay exactly where I wanted them. And I'm sure that's a me problem, not a sponge dauber problem. Here is one that I inked up the embossing folder. And I inked up so that it would nope, that's not what I did. This one, I ran it through, so I had a nice plain white piece. Nope, that's not what I did either. What did I do? I inked it up on the embossed side. Did I ink it up on the deboss? I don't know what I did, to be absolutely honest, but I got this colored black, and then I colored in with my blends, which I kind of like. I decided a lemon lolly with a white mat. I've got a larger mat to go on that. And then the inside is going to be pecan pie and basic white. Oh, a friend lost her husband. Another had surgery. Oh, I'm so sorry. Sometimes life is just hard. This one I can't say I like. This one I did this up on the debossed side. And I didn't do a good job of it. I think tapping would have been better than swiping because I've got lines in it. Anyway, this is the one I love the least, but I think it's going to be okay on a card. Then I went through and I put some color on it. I swiped everything with, let's see, what did I use? I used Daffodil Delight at an angle, and I just went like this down it, hoping to get all of the embossed parts. And then I went through with my sponge daubers and colored in when I wanted different colors. That's what I did with that one. And it's also going to go on Cajun Craze, because that's the color I used for the embossing folder, with a white mat. Now this one, seems to have lost its card front. Let's see. These all had fronts, card bases and fronts. This one doesn't seem to have anything, so let's set it aside for right now and have a feeling I'll find it. This one, I got a little bit of that Cajun Craze on it from the embossing folder that I didn't clean out well enough. Oh, you like the one with the black background? I did too. I didn't use garden green because I was using my blends and we don't have a garden green blends. I maybe should have used Old Olive. I don't know. Something to think about. This one I just took the embossed side and I colored it in with blends. And I thought that was kind of fun. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's the one that goes on the green. There. I knew it was there. So what I thought we'd do is we'd play with the embossing folder first, just for a little bit. And then I would make a big mess, which, believe me, I have been quite inky. I did my trick, you know, the one where you wash your hair and it'll get all the ink off. So I'm ink free at the moment. That is not going to last for very long. So here's a piece of scratch paper. I'm going to set these aside because we're going to make a couple of these into cards. I'm not sure which, but we'll do it. Where can I put these? Okay, the first thing I want to do, and I think this is going to be a little less messy because I've got a larger piece of paper. So I'm going to grab my black. So here's what I found. The black memento is fine for the embossing folder, but I am way too heavy-handed to do that over the top of a card. Way too heavy-handed. So I got my regular memento out for that. And I decided tapping is better than the swiping, because I'm not one who likes to have that swipey look. And if it goes over on the other side, it's no big deal because that's the back of the card. Okay, let's see if I can even this out just a little bit. It's got a couple of lines that I'm not sure I like. And I think actually those lines are my grid lines showing through. Oh, I'm going to be entertaining today. Okay, I'm going to carefully put this on and close it up. I'm going to run over. No, I'm just going to step. It's a step away. Again, here is my sandwich. Always put the hinge through first so you don't get any torque on it. Because you don't want to break your folder. Now, let's see what we've got. Remember, this is the back. Not sure why, but I put it on upside down. And there's our background. It is not entirely totally black. You could take a black marker and kind of fill in the splotchy spots. And I will say that this folder embosses and debosses at the same time because it doesn't, how do I explain it? Okay. This is embossed, but it's got a debossed veining in it. And so that on the other side is up above. It's like a little ridge. And so it picks up the black. Not all of our folders are like that. So I'm going to set this aside and we're going to do a little cleanup. It's really easy to clean this. The best way to clean it truly is to just take it and run it under the faucet in the kitchen. But I can just spray a little water on it. Yes, make a little mess. Keep a rag, get a rag. See how nicely that cleans up? Just as easy as can be. Albeit a little messy. But again, that's probably a me problem and not a cleanup problem. All right, I don't know that we're going to do any more with the folder, so I'm going to set it back here. So I'll turn that over because I don't want the wet on the top. I'm not going to use the sponge daubers because I'm not a fan of that look because it's really hard to get in this little area right here. Although, maybe I should. I should do half of it, right? Since we're going to cut it down anyway. I do like to start with the lighter color. So Daffodil Delight. Where is my daffodil? That's beige. And what did I do with my yellow one? Well, let's grab the crushed curry. Crushed curry will be fine. Just dab off a little bit because you don't want. And then I just went in. And it doesn't matter if you go over because it's going on to black and that is not going to show. I want a little more color. And I suppose you wouldn't really need to color the leaves if you didn't want to. Okay, put that up there so it's not likely to get into it. That's Old Olive. Early Espresso. I just have no idea what I did with my garden green. Tip, got them all labeled. Isn't that, let's see. How can I get you to see? There it is. Garden green. And I'm just gonna messily just get a, maybe it's just that it needs a hint of the color. Maybe it doesn't really need to get in all those little spaces. Little garden green. This one has a lot of black on it. So I'm going to do that a little darker. So there's garden green. And I just did that to show you because I'm not going to do anything with this right now. And pecan pie. Oh, that's Cajun Grace. Pumpkin pie. Well, I know I did this last night because I typed it up. There's black. Well, let's take a new one. Let's actually get out the pecan pie. Oh, have a terrific week, Luann. I'm glad you could join us for a bit. And then I just took my, oh, it's Cajun Craze, not pecan pie. That's fine. Just kind of really go around this little center because that's where I want it darker. There we are. I'll have to wash that up. Okay, there we go. That is how you do it with the sponge daubers. It is a little messier. As Cindy said, it kind of gives it a softer look. So I'm going to come over to the other side. And just go in. Oh, that's the dark. Let's just do the dark. We'll have one really dark leaf. Petal, not leaf. Petal. Okay. I always do the light first, so it seems a little weird that I grabbed that one. So that's the darker one. Just going to go over. It really is pretty quick doing this. Because it doesn't have to be perfect, and it's really nice to have a little bit of white space. Okay, there we are. And then I just use the light. And to do this one, I really do have pecan pie. Use a light touch because the bumpy stuff can mess up your brush. And you know, if you go over it a second time, it gets a little darker. I didn't even pull out the dark pecan pie. Hi Shirley, nice to see you. Yeah, it's a great folder. Matter of fact, once I started playing with it, I'll be right back. I'm going to go get Old Olive. And we'll use Old Olive on these leaves. Because I'm not sure I liked the soft seafoam. But then again, soft seafoam is not one of my favorite colors. I do like Old Olive. I would really, 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 really like a garden green. And then the dark highlights, and we'll just work those in. So that's how you color it with blends. I'm going to take this apart. No, I'm going to take this and put it away. How's the old olive look? Are you with me on that? Oh, Shirley, you're welcome for the card kit. I'm glad your son helped you. Now this one, we're going to see if I can do a little bit better with the swiping. And I'm getting lemon lolly because I want it a little bit lighter. Okay, so all that I've watched doing this technique, they say do it at an angle and do it very lightly. I obviously have a heavy hand. You like the old olive? Good, me too. I'm just going to start off. Oh, that's so much better. Okay. I'll hold this down. Look at that. Once more, because it's missed some spots. Okay, that is better. First of all, it's a lighter yellow, which I enjoy more. Let's take the pecan pie, which for some unknown reason seems to have disappeared. Okay, back in a moment. It is possible that I didn't use pecan pie for my centers. I used early espresso. Okay, let's take this one and see how much of this we can get off of it. That's pretty good. Yep. So let's just go over this. So we have a nice colorful center. Let's see how I can do here. Not bad, a little overlap, but not bad. And the other spot is right here. Okay. And then I have garden green here. So let's see how that goes. Oh, Cindy, you have the same problem? I know, it's crazy. And let's see. It's hard for me to see. Oh, excuse me, task lighting. There, now I can see better. Maybe just get a little bit of this and not try to get in the corners. And there's our greenery. Every piece is going to come out a little bit different depending on how you put it in. So not perfect, but not bad. Really light on the yellow. If you wanted to, you could use your sponge dauber and go in and maybe color in a little bit deeper so it doesn't just get the highlights of it. So there's an idea. The other idea is to take your black, and again, I'm using my regular Memento pad, and I'm going to try that because I want to get the background. So I'm just swiping. I'm going to swipe from a different direction. Kind of an interesting little crosshatch pattern for in here. I don't dislike it. I don't love it. So I've got lots of these, and if I mess them up, we can throw them away, right? Let's try it with the other memento pad. With the edge that is closest to the corner, I will just try this, and oh, I think I like that better. Already I like that better. And let's run it down this way, and this way, and that way. Now, you could color that in, or you could just leave it like it is. And I might get my black marker and just go in and color a little bit more, but I actually kind of like that background. Yeah, I'm with you, Glass. That the black and white, I really like it. And so I'm going to leave that one like that and set it aside. Anything else you want me to try before we go on? Oh, Cindy, I'm glad you like that one. Because we do need to make a couple of cards, right? I'm going to leave this one out because I want to rename it, put a little label on it. Put all the inks over here. I don't have a baby wipe, but I do have water and a towel. So I can at least make sure that I am not going to make black inky streaks all over everything. Getting rid of the streaky paper for now. And grabbing another one. This was basically a 4-week calendar thing that they put out. We could buy instead of good paper. And I thought that I would use it to write everything down on, put a date in and plan and write. And I was wrong once again. So I'm using it as my scratch paper. With scratch paper with grids. So which cards shall we actually put together? Let's do this one. I cut a 4¼ by 11-inch piece of cardstock, garden green, scored it in half. I thought this would be really nice on a piece of, when I looked at it, I thought that the pecan pie looked good. It is possible that early espresso would have been a better choice, but it's so dark and we've got so much black on here, I didn't want to do that. And I didn't want to do yellow and green. Well, it looks good together. See, I thought that looked good. Then for the inside, I have, oh yes, you can fussy cut the flowers too. That is right. That's a good idea. The fussy cut the flowers out as your focal point. Now you see this is way too big. So I'm going to cut this down to 3 inches. So I stacked everything on top of my paper cutter, my trimmer. So here. So which part do I like the least? It's going to be 5 inches long. I don't really like the bottom as much. Yeah, maybe I don't like this side as much. You also can do a little off the top and a little off the bottom. So I'm going to do this. This is going to go on inside. We'll trim that down later. And this is, so that was 5 and this is 3 3/4 inches. sometimes it's hard. You spend too much time deciding, or I spend so much time deciding that I don't get anything done. So I am going to, because it's embossed and I want it to stick, let's use my Tombow. Where's my Tombow holder? It's right there. Let's get it down where it's handy. I'll put this on. Now, I don't think it needs a whole lot of embellishment, but keeping in the fact that we all know that every flower deserves to have Wink of Stella on it, I'm going to take my Wink of Stella, shake it up, grab my bone folder, and splatter Wink of Stella all over it. Which is a very fun technique. Now, see if I can catch the light. I don't see enough sparkles. So let's make sure there's plenty in the barrel. I don't want to squeeze a lot, but I do want to make sure there's a little bit in there. I'm going to shake it all up again. And I'm going to splatter some more. I'm making a big mess out here. I'm also getting it on my card. I can see it. Yes, that's much better. Let's see if I can get it so you can see it. There, you can see it. Maybe get a couple more splatters down here. So the whole card has a little shine to it, a sparkle. Anyway, I like that. Look. I'm going to want to put a sentiment on it. And what I was thinking for sentiments is, I've got all of these silly little white strips that I cut off. So I wanted something small. So I looked through my stamp sets for thin little sayings. I was thinking dear friend would work. I think blooming phrases will work. See, they're nice and thin. Put a hello there. I'm going to put them back upside down so I'll know I took the stamp off. Grab a block in my drawer. The one thing about photopolymer, especially if they're long and thin, is they tend to, it's really easy, it's harder to get them straight. Because when you put them down, you might accidentally just move them around a little bit. So give it a second. And then, so I put it on my silicone sheet so it doesn't stick. Give it a second there, and then I'm going to use basic black. So my memento. As I told you, I just couldn't seem to get my act together. Let's see. Perfect. And it should be on something. It'll give it a little push. So let's bring that silicone mat back in, because that will work. We're going to line this up, not quite at the edge, because hello there. And then this needs to be three and 3/4 inches. And I'm probably going to cut it here looks like that's just about perfect. And I'm using up those little scraps. Sorry, I just threw that on the floor. It landed right on Harley taking a nap. So while I would normally put this on a mat, I don't think it's needed since it is right here. But it does need to be put on dimensionals, and I think I'm going to use my little ones because that's what I've got out. These are cute. I do like them. Take this off. And I'm thinking right about here. Unless we had something we needed to cover, but I don't think we do. This also needs to be on dimensionals. And I am working really hard. Actually, let's come to the black ones. The black mini ones. I am wanting to use up some edge pieces. So, 1, 2, and this particular piece of cardstock is the two-tone cardstock. See the white core here? Let's see. It's got a little white edge. It's lightweight and great for putting on, let's see, one more. Putting onto cardstock as a layer. My friend Sarah did a share of two-tone cardstock during the sale. So that was really nice. And we will put this on. And see, I really don't think it needs anything else. There's a lot going on this card, and I don't think that, I think it would detract from it. So let's go ahead and do the inside. And as you know my theory, I think Tombow shows through on white, at least eventually. And I don't like that look. So I like to use it with a tape runner, Seal Plus. I could have put it on the lighter side. There's a lighter, maybe I did. There's a lighter and a darker. Oh, this one isn't two-toned. This is just regular cardstock. Well, oh, let's take this and cut it down to 3/4 of an inch, 3 3/4. Put a little bit of glue on it. And then we'll add that to our card. So there's one very plain but nice card. And I wasn't sure what to do with the envelope. So I took and I ran it through the embossing folder. Isn't that pretty? So, card number 1. Now, when I put your kits together, I don't know exactly what you're going to get, but you'll get probably a couple of these and things to make a card. Oh, I'm glad you like it, Cindy. Oh, it would be good for an autumn swap card. You're right. I have a swap coming up, and I need to use the embossing folder technique. So maybe this will be the swap. What do you think? Okay. Especially now that I can do 2 fronts at a time. That'll be good. Okay, we'll set this one aside. Now let's come to the one I didn't like. I don't love it. I can't help that I don't love it. But I was thinking, what would happen if I cut it down to that 3 3/4, and then I cut, say, 1.5 inch strips from it, and I like the top better than the bottom. I'm thinking that would give me 1, 2. Okay, we have to do math now. I tell you, math is hard. So if I did 1 1/4 3 times, that would be 4 inches, right? And that would give me, this is 4 1/4 inches. That would give me a strip in the middle, and I will cut it down to this width instead of leaving a border on the side. So it'll be 4 inches wide. So it'll be 4 by 4, cut into strips. Okay, the worst, like I said, it's paper. The worst that can happen is that we hate it. And if we hate it, then we can throw it. Okay, 4 inches. I'll cut that down. And then we're going to do 1 1/4 3 times, because we need a spot to put our greeting. And I think we should be able to stamp right on the cardstock. 1 1/4 and 1 1/4. Okay. We have 3 pieces. We have a little left over for something else. A little strip for the inside. And let's see. This is the inside layer. Okay. So put that on the bottom. Maybe, no, give it a little bit of border on the bottom. That on the top. This here, no, let's do it this way. So we could see that it goes together. And we can stamp right here. We need a little bigger stamp. Either that or we need a little bit more separation. See, I think that will work. Oh, hi, Robin. How nice to see you. It's been a while. I met Robin going to Onstage this year. It was so nice. And she lives not that far away. We were both flying out of Seattle with groups. Okay. Do I have a little chunkier sentiment? Let's see. There was one that had 2 lines that I really liked. Now, I pulled this one out and then I realized I haven't pulled my sets that are on the last chance list, but Love and Strength is on the last chance list. How big is There Is Hope? Oh, this is one. This is not a photopolymer. This is scary. Where is the There Is Hope? It's right here. Because I find stamping straight. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to try stamping it. I think. Let's see. There was another one I was thinking about. I was thinking about quiet reflections. The scripture, Psalm 46:1, God is our refuge and strength. I like that. It's not photopolymer. That's always challenging, you know. But that would look nice in the middle. And I can put it on a strip and adhere the strip. I think we're going to do this one. Okay, another one upside down so that I know I have stamps to put in there. Let's see. Will this fit on here like this?